Hello, from me and this little edition today. We are delighted to be joined for our Friday session with pregnancy and postnatal wellbeing specialist, registered nurse Cecile. Cecile is passionate about helping women improve their pregnancy and their birth and recovery following her own challenging birth experience. So I'm just going to add Cecile to our call. And whilst this little one hopefully stays asleep.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh no, I'm so happy to join you guys and to see the little one.
Yes, well, he was meant to be properly asleep, but he's definitely
It's
likely to need a little
yeah,
bit of a little snack. So I thought better he can
okay.
just join us.
Of
He's
course.
very chill.
Of course. Oh, that's nice. Good for you.
Yes, I'm very lucky. I've had one very unchill newborn and one very
Okay.
chill newborn. So
Okay,
he's
good. So you're
yeah.
gonna have this chat with him. Okay, perfect.
Yes. So thank you for joining us, and I
Thank
was
you.
hoping that you could just introduce yourself and a little bit more about your background and your expertise and how you got into this space.
Sure. So yeah, so I'm Cecile. I'm a nurse originally, and I'm passionate about all well-being, including, of course, food. It's a huge part of nutrition, well, huge part of well-being, and I'm really passionate about how food impacts, our health, impact, all degenerative processes, disease, and also natural processes like pregnancy, and how stress and emotional well-being is a huge part also of global health. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Absolutely, and the impact of one into the other can enhance your recovery or your speed or your or obviously have the reverse impact.
Definitely. Yeah, so it's like I've been through a lot of different wards, and I work in different places, and I think a lot now of, I would say, traditional wards, even in maternity wards, in a lot of hospital now, much more aware and paying much more attention to this holistic way of taking care. And by holistic, I mean, you really as a whole, so with all the things that can impact your health. So, emotional well-being is a huge part of it too, and nutrition. Yeah, of course.
Absolutely, and just having some tools to support yourself and also you feel a little bit more in control
Exactly.
when
Now, yeah, sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, everything's so new when you become a mum and you're trying to really look after yourself and your baby, and there's such a responsibility, but you can kind of feel quite overwhelming.
Yeah, it is definitely. And I'm a mom too, so I think there's definitely helpful um, things, as in nutrition, that can really help you to go through this emotional craziness that we're all going through pregnancy, but after birth too. Um, so there's tools, as in the nutrition area, but also emotionally you can really manage, I think, to help yourself to go through different stages.
Absolutely, I think it's the link, and it's just so easy just to grab a snack or something. I mean, my little one's 3 weeks old, and I consumed more sugar. Most of my every snack I went for, I just craved more sugar. I was so tired, and then it was making me feel so crashy. And then I
Exactly.
stopped for I just made myself some sensible things. All
Yeah,
of the advice I give other people, and sat down and prepared a little bit, and the difference of my energy levels in a sustained way was so significant. And then it made me feel so much more in control and so much happier instead of just feeling like I
yeah,
was drowning a little bit.
yeah. Actually, I think the field of pregnancy nutrition is always evolving, and it's kind of confusing for new moms because, okay, we are living in a world where paleo, keto, low carb, vegan are all coexisting, and it's very hard. Even, I mean, when you're not pregnant, just as a woman or just as a human well-being, it's just very hard to find the appropriate and the good diet for yourself, in the jungle of trends and things. So during pregnancy, it's, I think, very important to stick to some essential guidelines and nutrients, rather than just, trying to, I know that a lot of women try not to put on too much, to put too much weight on. This is understandable, but also we know now that cravings are not always a reflection of your body needs. And with the proper nutrients, with understanding a little bit more your cravings and why you're craving that, and understanding a little bit more how your body works, the nutrients that you need, I think you can just nourish rather than just feed yourself. And I like this word because, yeah, giving yourself the proper nutrients and knowing exactly what you need through pregnancy and in which food you can find them, rather than just swallowing a pill, which is, of course, a good way to get some iron, to fight against, some iron deficiencies or folates deficiency during pregnancy. But I'm a firm believer that we should and we can get our all nutrients from real food. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and or at least try, aim for that, and then have a supplement top up if you feel like you're struggling, or but being informed rather than thinking, oh well, I'm just taking this one thing
Yeah,
that covers me. I'm done now, so I can just eat
exactly.
anything. I think
Exactly.
it's food can be it can be bring such joy, and to make sure you remember that that nourishing your body and your baby is also can be delicious and exciting and interesting, rather
True.
than it just being like feel like 9 months of hard work.
No, no. And actually, I would say the most simple, but also nutritious foods are full of all the nutrients that you need. So, like, for example, okay, let's think about folates, because this is something that,
Absolutely, it's
when you,
always the go-to.
when you're trying to get pregnant, you already on this folates being like, I really need this is important. Your GP is telling you this constantly, and through pregnancy you know that is important, but you don't really know where you can find it, in which food, and why, so for example, folate is liver, for example, is a very folate-rich food. But okay, I see your eyes rolling at me like, okay, this is not the easiest food. But when we know that,
Especially in early pregnancy, I think like the green vegetables can be so
no,
hard to get down.
it's
I
not it's not
I
easy.
blended all of mine in a smoothie, but it's not something that
Uh,
everyone can
yeah,
do.
no. I mean, this is quite hard. This is a quite a test. So, but you can find it in leafy greens, and eggs as well. So, this is important to know that all the vitamins, and, like, for example, vitamin B12 you can also find in most animal products. So liver, but yeah, beef, salmon, eggs, you can find all these vitamins in very natural, normal foods. So it's really reassuring that if you have, like, kind of just a normal balanced diet, you can actually, most part of the time, meet the required amount of, nutrients and vitamins that you need.
I think a lot of it is knowledge of understanding what you what you can get from where, and I think that's the biggest barrier that a lot of people face, especially when you're so busy. I think having I think an easy reference point, so have
Yeah,
something that we can follow up on and create a little bit of a handy piece of resource for women to use as
yeah,
um, something. The key ones that we're always told in pregnancy that is the most vital, how to just include it in an everyday diet, and just maybe most people were taking a pregnant care type vitamin, but
yeah. That's
how
the
you can
thing.
ensure
Yeah,
that you're getting it through a natural sources, and be equipped with that knowledge so you can decide how you want to structure
yeah.
your meals.
So yeah, I think I'm saying here is that when I work with women, not just women in general, not just pregnant women. I mean, I like to think that a paleo-ish kind of diet, like, I mean, vegetables, roots, lean meats, fish, fatty fish as well, because it's very important for omega-3 and DHA as well, which is crucial for your baby's brain and for your brain too. Um, Eggs, fruits, I mean, you're good. So legumes, dairy, we can always, I mean, this is not essential. Some people are like reluctant now to include dairy in their diet, and that's okay. I acknowledge the fact that, full fat dairy can be a very good source of calcium, can be a very good source of protein as well. But this is not essential. You can get your calcium from other sources too, like, for example, canned fish with bones, like sardines, is a very nice source of calcium as well. So yeah, if you have this kind of not too processed, like nutrient dense, like real food focused diet, I like to think and believe that, yeah, that's enough, for you and your baby. And that will also, be a good start to keep this sugar craving and insulin imbalance at bay, because when you eat fruits rather than processed sweets, you have, okay, there's sugar in fruits, not sugars are equal. And when you eat a fruit, you also have fiber. So this is all, a
All
good way.
important things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also enjoyable to eat, especially in the summers. Fruits that are in season. It's a good thing, especially if you've got kids as well. Like trying to get my toddler has gone from being a really good eater to a picky
Fussy.
eater, which is
Yeah.
challenging. And trying to swap things over for him is can be really like so I've tried making smoothie ice creams rather than it just being
Yeah, but that's a
get those
way.
vitamins
Yeah.
in there somehow.
So yeah.
So, but when we have those together, so it's something we do. We make them together, then we eat them together. So trying to
That's really
wean
nice.
him
Yeah.
off.
Getting them involved, I think is key, definitely. When it comes to
Mm.
food, the more they touch it, the more they get familiar with the texture, touching it, the easier is it to get them eat it. So yeah.
So if you're a new mum, like just had somebody like in my position just had a baby, what would be the top things to include in your diet for postnatal recovery and helping to manage those moods and
So
the especially when you're running on vapor and getting very little sleep.
yeah, I mean,
um,
I know exactly what you mean. So okay, I would say first two very important things would be protein. Protein and hydration. So hydration and protein are the basics. So
the
proteins are
fundamental
the
pieces.
fundamental pieces. So proteins are the building blocks for you, for your body to be able to heal. I had myself a C-section, and a lot of women are going through, complicated birth. Sometimes it's just a tear, sometimes it's more like a scar, and that needs to heal. So protein is actually key. It will also keep you satisfied, you know, and you will not crave, especially if you're breastfeeding, not crave sugar all the time or feel, you know, hungry, like, you know, feel.
Oh my goodness, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, so protein at every meal is key, along with appropriate, you know, amounts, a good amount of water, or could be, of course, tea, water, whatever, you know. Hydration is the easier for you, you know, it's the best. So this is something really important. I would say that fiber, so vegetables, you know, green leafy vegetables are really important too. So we're speaking about, you know, all these kale, spinach, uh, greens, all type of, you know, green leafy vegetables, even cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, that are really important to get these things moving also, you know, to have a nice gut health post-birth, because this is something also that can be difficult, you know, especially after C-section. It can be really hard to to have a nice digestion and to be able to to be regular. So yeah, that's really important. Yeah.
That's really helpful. And if you're struggling with milk supply, is there anything that you would
So
that can help
same,
fix?
actually, yeah. So milk supply, okay, hydration again. Drink, drink, drink.
Just loads and loads of water.
No, this is never enough of water. I mean, you can have 3 liters of water per day and it's completely fine, you know. Um, Also, I would say that now there's few things. You can notice that some foods that you used to like and enjoy and that were completely fine with you, for some reason, when you're breastfeeding, can reduce your meal supply. So you have to pay attention after meals, how you know your milk supply is, you know. And there's few things that can help you, like you have this fenugreek, you know, tea that can be really helpful, stimulating the milk production. That can be really nice. It also tastes pretty good, and if you drink this kind of tea or take it like as in a supplement form, like in caps, you will notice after like 1 week you will start to smell yourself like maple syrup, which is but that's true. That's a bit crazy, but that's true. And it's actually it proves that it shows that it is working. So smelling like
Well,
maple
maple
syrup,
syrup, there's worse things to smell.
and your milk actually will taste a little bit like maple syrup, which is actually a very nice thing for baby, because they like this, gives the milk kind of a sweet taste. So yeah, so they really like it. There's some food that they don't. So yeah, some, like, for example, garlic or asparagus can make your milk taste and smell different. So you have to be aware of that. But yeah, for milk supply, we say like fennel as well is really good. It's also very nice for your digestion. It will also help, to have a nice and calm tummy. So and your baby too, because everything that you eat go through your milk. So this fennel will go through the milk and will help baby with colic and gassy tummy, and yeah, that would definitely help. So yeah.
Well, I will definitely be including that, because keep his tummy happy makes everything easier.
Yeah, and I know that now you can find lactation cookies. So I'm a bit mixed on that, because of course, I mean, this is something a bit more processed, and my thought on this are a bit, I know that they can be really good. Some are very natural with oatmeal, including oatmeal, some fenugreek seeds in there, and oatmeal is also a very good milk supply booster. So if you have oatmeal in the morning, it's good to know that it will help you to build a nice milk supply. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good, because overnight oats is such a handy thing to prepare for everyone when you're like time poor in the mornings.
Yeah.
And getting my toddler off to preschool, and yes, I just make a lot of oats.
Yeah, for overnight oats. I mean, this is a great thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's again, I get him to make those. So he didn't used to eat them. So my mum advice for anyone who's struggling to get their kids to eat
Right.
he started making them, and then and now he's really into eating them. So, but yes, porridge in the winter, overnight oats in the summer.
Exactly. But yeah, speaking about recovery, I think there is also all the emotional and hormonal well-being that comes with it. So this is not just about eating well, getting your energy back, but it's also taking care of your hormones and your emotional well-being. So I would say that few supplements can be a good idea, like magnesium. Uh, it can be interesting to supplement, in magnesium through your recovery, and
And what
just be
does the
sure.
magnesium help with?
I'm sorry?
Magnesium, what does that do for you in the recovery process?
Yeah. Honestly, it will just relax you. It's a muscle. Um, it will relax your muscle, right? So, but also it will give you a more how can I say that? Like a mood stability, So it will just balance
Okay.
your mood nicely, make you feel more relaxed and yeah, and more stable, make your mood more stable through the day, which is something
Well, I
um
will give that a go. I think everyone would
again,
appreciate my
I
mood
mean,
being a bit more stable.
you can just be completely happy, and the second after you're in tears and you don't know really why. Just looking at your newborn can just make you feel completely overwhelmed. So it's it's nice to feel a bit more balanced and stable in your mood, yeah, in your emotions.
Um, so I've just had a message come in, which would be really great if
Yeah.
if you're able to answer in regard to um, dealing with PCOS and insulin resistance and managing that with any weight loss. I'm not too sure if that's post pregnancy or if there's any information on your site that you could direct that query to.
Okay. So what was the question exactly? What did she ask?
Advice on managing weight loss and managing
Weight loss.
PCOS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. This is okay. Hormonal imbalance are a huge part of my work too. So yeah, I could speak a lot.
Or maybe I will message
No, but
the
yeah, I
person
mean,
submitting and
PCOS,
direct them to
same.
your page.
Yeah, of course. We absolutely fine. I mean, I'll be very happy. But okay, to make it to give a little answer and to make it as short as I can, I would say that sugar plays um, a huge part in hormone balance, and avoiding processed food again, working on having enough movement, getting enough um, sunlight, getting enough, how can I say that, outdoor activities, as well as getting the proper nutrients it might seem very simple and too simple, and too good to be true, but this is a very good start. So when we take out all of the toxic foods, all the processed food, the refined sugar, and we work to just re-establish a nice and good good sleep, we balance the stress, we balance the hormones, we take out all of them, the toxic, like the toxins in the environments. When we work on the environment and on the foods, as well as daylight exposure and everything, I think we can have a very good improvement of any condition like PCOS. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you. And it was a lot of the other queries that we've had, questions from people, has been around. I've kind of sort of amalgamated a few questions into one because it's the same
Yeah.
theme around nutrition or advice, because you're obviously a big proponent of mindfulness as well, on
Yeah,
managing mood and anxiety and panic as you become both, people talk like the pregnancy and early, especially early postnatal,
yeah.
of just being so anxious of, your family, your baby, and overwhelm. So any easy go-to tips and techniques,
Yeah,
because it's something that I think we can all take on board, and some people it's more extreme than
of
others.
course, of course. This is so important, and I really like to speak about that because I've been through that as well. When I had my son Milan, it was through really bad panic attacks, and there was really, I mean, anxiety. I was, I mean, I think I kind of had this pandemic loneliness before it really happened. Having my family in France and not being able to have this support, being, my husband was traveling a lot. So yeah, that was pretty hard. And being alone with your baby, I mean, of course, you can feel very anxious, overwhelmed, plus being exhausted is not, it's adding, and it can definitely um, end up in a proper panic attack. So I think, okay, knowing first that you are safe is one thing. So you are safe. Panic attacks are not dangerous. Nothing, nothing's wrong's gonna happen. Um, the feeling can be really overwhelming and really very scary, actually. I had this impression, and I know a lot of people, a lot of women, and a lot of my clients have experienced this I'm gonna die feeling, and that can be extremely scary. So yeah,
Mm,
first of all, know that you're safe. It will pass. The feeling will pass, and this is important to remind you that. But there's many techniques that help me and help a lot of women that I work with now to get through panic attacks. Okay, so breathing techniques are something that really, really works, and it's super easy to to learn. It's really so there's few. I mean, there's different breathing techniques. It's some people a lot of people are confused because there's the 8, 5, the 3. Okay, so I think I make it simple here for me, and for a lot of people, what works best will be the box breathing. I don't know if you heard about that. So box,
I have, but if you could explain it, that'd be
yeah,
great.
of course. So box breathing will be like breathing in for 4 seconds, like 1, 2, 3, 4, holding for 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, breathing out for 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, and holding again for 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's a super easy technique to remember.
It's incredibly easy to remember, and it actually saved my my life many times, because it's you have to have a little toolbox. I like to say that. And in your toolbox, you have different things. So you know that taking your magnesium, staying well hydrated, will do a lot for you, will do good for a lot of good stuff, but also having your breathing techniques along with other stuff, like, for example, hypnosis can really be super helpful. I used to do hypnosis before, I mean, like a birth preparation, but it was super useful afterwards. So you can find a lot of hypnosis videos on YouTube, and you can definitely have a little look to find the one that suits you best, and what really relax you the most, and it's easier for you just to put your little headphones and closing your eyes, listening to this can be a really nice thing to do. um, but yeah, it's all about when these kind of overwhelming, panic, anxious feelings are coming, it's all about being able to anchor yourself in the present, right? So being able to to stay in the moment, in the present, in the reality, because when you're so overwhelmed with so many feelings, you can just lose a little bit yourself in these emotions. So yeah.
Which is, yes, I think, especially current situation, people are feeling so much more isolated and a bit more lonely and not able to talk about these, how you're feeling, especially when you should feel, when so many people are struggling harder, you feel I should be so
Yeah.
grateful I've got this baby, or if you're otherwise healthy, it can feel like you're taking that for granted, and
And you know,
those
I
feelings
think,
aren't valid.
yeah, that's true. I think that's you really have to find what works for you, because okay, no, there's no like a unique solution, of course, and but some little stuff really helped me to deal with that. You know, when I had this overwhelming panic feeling, I was like, okay, I had this feeling like I'm gonna faint, you know, I'm gonna pass out, and that was very scary. So while I was stressing, I had this very, now that I think about it, it's quite funny, but I had this feeling like, okay, so if something happened to me, I'm alone with my baby, so I'm gonna have to call the ambulance is gonna come, and you know the house is a mess. I don't want the medics to see the house like that. That was very stupid, you know, but that helped me a lot, because while I was cleaning and tidying, tidying my bed like a manic crazy person, actually I was not focusing on the panic. I was not focusing on the anxiety. And that's something after, you know, now my son is 3 years old. So during all these years after this panic attack, when I talk to clients now, I realized that that's a trick that people use, you know, that, you know, cleaning, doing something very, you know, a routine thing, you know, really helps, because it focuses your mind on something that is not, you know, the panic and the anxious feeling.
Absolutely. So stumbled on it by a happy accident in an
Hey,
unfortunate
but it
circumstance.
works. It works. It really works. It does.
And we just finishing is I really love your concept of your magic moments, which is such a sweet thing.
Thank
And
you.
I think so your magic moments is to send little voice messages to people.
Yeah, the magic
Um,
minutes. So yeah, it's basically the idea came like during lockdown. And I was feeling, of course, we were all feeling very isolated, far from, you know, I'm not seeing our family, friends. And we started this routine with my best friend, to send voice message to each other in the morning, you know, just having our morning coffee. We were leaving, you know, voice messages to each other. And I started to do this with my family, with my friends, and they all came back to me saying, oh, but we really like that. And when I was forgetting to do one, they were like, oh, but can you do like, can you think about doing
can
one
you
tomorrow
catch up?
morning, because I missed my little, you know, minute of you speaking to me about, you know, wishing me a good day, but just sometimes speaking about the thing that we talk about, you know, yesterday, or the, you know, the things that the anxiety, everything, you know. So that was just, you know, 2 or 3 minutes, um, wishing the loved one a good day. Yeah, and we
I think, yeah,
transformed
which is
this.
such a nice thing to do, that people can take forward in their own families, or make you feel less lonely if you're struggling with that isolation, which I know so many people are. I mean, hopefully things are beginning to go back to normal, but it's
Exactly.
still slow and
It's
steady,
still,
and
yeah,
and
yeah.
I think any rollback is going to make people feel very even more so. So I just wondered if you had like a hi.
Hello.
um, so if you had if you had an uplifting thought that you could share for today for the mums, for our mums,
All
our
right.
community.
Yeah, I think about this, all these moms, this, yeah, this, we were speaking about this overwhelming feeling. Sometimes you feel like you're very lost, you know, you don't, some days are very good, but some days are hard with the newborn. And the crying can be sometimes overwhelming. And I can remember many times during a day I was feeling like I got this, and sometimes like, no, I don't, and I don't know what to do. And I was losing all, confidence. And so what I could say today is that you, the new mom, you, the mom, you are the calm and confident boss of your house. You you are this person, and this is like something that you should repeat to yourself. And I can repeat it to you over and over because this is true. You are calm, you are confident, and you know best. Like, you know it. Like, you have this. Yeah, you, even if in the chaos, repeating this to yourself, and I'm repeating this to you today, you are the boss, this calm and confident person. Yeah, I really believe that you are.
Oh, that's so lovely. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
Really,
you.
really appreciate your time, and we will link to your page and have some information about what your all of your advice on our website, so people can refer back to this and can
Thank
reach
you,
out to you
Alex.
if they want more of your
Thank you.
specialist tips. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It was so nice to see the little one as well. So
Yeah,
yeah.
he was pretty good.
Oh my God, he's amazing.
Yeah, a
Dream
little
boat here.
food, he's happy.
Thank you so
All right,
much, Alex. Have a
thank
beautiful
you.
afternoon.
You
Speak
too.
soon.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.